Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about making inferences and trying to use these to find the answer. So when we're doing surveys, we take a small sampling and then we use proportions to figure out what that would look like for a larger population. So that's exactly what we're doing in these examples. So I'm just going to set up some proportions and solve them. With the multiple choice aspect, a lot of times you could estimate what the answer would be because they're spread out enough for you to do that. But I'm going to show you how to really find the answer in case it wasn't multiple choice. So in this example, the question, it gives us some information, and the question's asking how many people chose bowling as their favorite subject or class. So I would set up a proportion. I'd take the number of students that liked bowling, 13, over the number of students they surveyed. And so to do that, I have to add these up. 1 plus 9 plus 17 plus 13, and when I add those up, I get 40. So 13 out of the 40 students liked bowling. So that's the percent that I'm going to work with. And then to set up my proportion, I'm going to make that equal to the total number of students in the school. So that's going to be on the bottom because that's my total number. And I'm looking for this number right up here. Okay, that's the number I'm looking for. So remember, when we use cross products to solve, we multiply the crosses that we know, 13 times 5, 28, and then we divide by the number that's across from the variable, divided by 40. When you do that, I'll get an answer of 171.6. You can type it in your calculator. So you can see from there, D would be the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next example. In the next example, we have a table here, or a bar graph here, sorry. Same idea. Okay, so I'm going to take the number of students. So this wants to know how much like hockey. So I'm going to look at hockey. So there's 10 for hockey. So I'm going to take 10 over the total number. So I add up all these categories. And when I add them up, I get 45 total amount of people interviewed. So 10 out of 45. And then there are 414 athletes in the school. So I want to figure out how many of those play hockey based on this information. So then again, I do 10 times 414 divided by 45. And when you do that, you get 92, which is letter D here, 92. Okay, move on to my next example. Same thing in my next example here. We've surveyed 30 people, so that's my bottom number. 9 run 5 or more times a week, so that's 9 out of 30 run 5 or more times a week, which is what we are looking for here in our question. Always make sure that the information they give you matches the question they're asking. And I want to know how many there are. In this case, it just tells me that there are 84 members, so I just need to put the 84 there. I'm looking for that number up there. So I do 9 times 84 divided by 30. And when you do that, you get 25.2, which we can't have a 0.2 of a person. So 25 would be our reasonable guess. Okay, now I did say earlier that sometimes with the multiple choice you could kind of anticipate your answer. 9 out of 30, a lot of you know that's about 1/3, a little less. Okay, so based on these answers, 25 and 30 would be the ones that are about 1/3 of 85, and since I want a little bit less, 25 would be the one that's a little bit less. So with multiple choice, you can sometimes find your answer without having to do all this work. But again, just in case there is not multiple choice answers, or there are two that are pretty close together, this is a more accurate way of finding your answer. Okay, and then in my last example, here we want to know, and you can already see that the answer is going to be C, 54 here, but let's verify our answer. Okay, we want fewer than 2 kids here. Okay, so I'm going to first take out how many are fewer than 2 kids. That's 9 out of, again, add up these 3 categories to tell me that that's 9 out of 20 have fewer than 2 kids. And the total number of people in the club, in the mother's club, is 120. So how many have 2 or fewer? Well, you would do cross products here. So 9 times 120 divided by 20, and that tells me that that is 54. I get that exactly. So that's how you can see that that's my answer. Okay. So if you need to go back and check anything again, go ahead. Otherwise, have a wonderful day.